When you're working with lights, one of the most important things to remember is what photographers call the inverse square law. And basically what this says is that if you reduce the distance between your lights and your subject, in this case the plants, then you quadruple the number of photons reaching those plants. Conversely, if you double the distance from your plants to your light, you will reduce the amount of photons they are getting by a factor of 4. And what I'm showing you here is a simple way to make lights adjustable so you can maximize their effect on the plants. So what I have here is a typical Fite 2-tube LED light, 4000 degrees Kelvin, which is sometimes on sale for as little as $19 at Costco and typically runs around $29. I have 2 of these, and I think these are excellent lights for growing plants. The key to this structure is basically 2 screw eyes into the beam above the light, and then a piece of paracord, the universal material, strung between the chains that support this light and the hook eyes up above. At the origin of this, there is a hook, and the rope is attached with a simple slip knot. It goes down across, and then up to the other hook, and right down here it is tied with a taut line hitch, which is an adjustable knot, very simple to make. And so with this kind of arrangement, what you can see, you can lay these things down flat, or in this case, because the plants are at different heights, you can set it at an angle to accommodate the different plants. And here in the other part of my setup, I have this old fluorescent lamp which has been rebulbed. Right here is I have another one of these Fite lamps, and what you can see is I just took a piece of paracord and strung it across at the bottom of these shells and tied some kind of knot at the end. You know, these LED bulbs don't put out any heat, so there's no risk of fire from this particular arrangement. Down below here I have 2 lamps that are single lamps, and here I basically just ran the chains around the shelves, and down here you can see I'm using a bent nail to hold the chains together, and that's working just fine. Sorry about my voice. We've been having smoke here in Northern California for the last few days, and that's one of the effects that it has on everybody who breathes that stinky air. But anyway, this is really worth knowing and really worth doing. I've basically rebuilt my whole lighting arrangement now because of this concept, which I've known about for a while but never done anything with. So a few days ago, I started a dozen cups of new plants and a variety of things like arugula and kale and collards and tomatoes and things. And after a few days, some of these have already come up. So I have put them underneath my adjustable light, which is in a slanted position. And what you see here is that I have used wood blocks. These are like 1x4, 2x4 chunks, and stacked them up in order to get these plants as close to the light as I reasonably can. So this will help them grow very quickly. Okay, so here's another shot of a light placed very close to the plants. In the front tray, I have a bunch of the new seedlings that are all popping up after 4 days or so. And in the back tray, I have some alfalfa shoots that I'm growing for chicken fodder. So these are the alfalfa shoots that I'm growing for chicken fodder. So as I showed you earlier, on this wire shelf here where I've put these 2 trays of starts, I have also added wood blocks to put them just that much closer to the LEDs. Okay, here's 1x4s, here's a combination of 2x4s and 1x4s. So the cool part of this is I think that the LEDs do not generate a lot of heat, but if you put your hand inside this container at this point in time, what you'll feel is like a nice gentle warmth. So it's like a spring day or something out there. So I laid a thermometer up on top of that far tray. It went up to about 83 degrees, which I think not too warm, just a nice warm summer day. One of the things I've noticed with these adjustable lights is that the plants you put under them do not gain height very fast, and that's actually a good thing. It means that the energy is going into making leaves and so on. And really, this was the main reason why I got into this particular approach in general, because a lot of the tomato plants that I was growing were very spindly, and I wondered how you go about making more stocky plants. And keeping the lights close to the leaves is one of the main ways that you do that. So here I think we see a testimonial to how well this close lighting works. Right here in this cup we see an arugula plant about 9 days old, and right down here you can see it's already putting out a leaf that is typical of the leaf that it will have when it's a full-grown plant. Okay, here's a kale plant from the close lighting setup. It's a Nero Toscana kale plant, but here is what I am seeing as a apparent benefit of having this close lighting, which is that this plant here is running its taproot way deep into this plastic cup, and that's a good thing in terms of its ultimate and I think rapid development.